Hi, Corinne. It's your grandma. I'm sorry the dogs are barking in the background, and I hope you can hear me. I tried to make them be quiet, but they wouldn't. So, I bought you this really cool book. It's about trees, but it has a whole bunch of words. So, too many words. So we're going to read this one, okay? It's called Alexander the Kitten. It's one of my favorite books from when I was a little kid. See how old it is? Because I'm really old. Alexander the Kitten. Alexander Kitten lived in a big house. It was just the kind of place for a kitten to live in, full of wonderful things with which to play. But Alexander had no time for play. He was too busy fighting things. He thought it was his duty. He felt sure he had to hurry up and hurt things first before they had a chance to hurt him. Look at the baby kitty. Then one summer day, something happened. Alexander had just eaten breakfast. He sat in the garden path washing the cream off his whiskers. Suddenly, he stopped to listen, for he heard a noise overhead. There, on the flower, was a buzzy bee. See the buzzy bee? Alexander said to himself, "There is a strange creature. It doesn't belong in this yard. I must scare it away." Alexander's eyes grew black, and he flattened down his little ears. But the buzzy bee didn't scare. Alexander arched his back and jumped sideways. Still, the buzzy bee didn't scare. See Alexander being scary? So, Alexander hit at the bee. The bee stung Alexander on the end of his nose. Ow! Away skittered Alexander. Meow! He wailed. That bee stung me on the end of my peaceful pink nose. What a wicked creature he is. Soon, Alexander stopped to listen again, for strange noises came around a bend in the path. See, there's Alexander when he got bit by the little bee stung. They don't bite. Alexander paddle-pawed along until he could peek around the bend. He saw a fat hen. See, a hen is also a chicken, clucking and scratching in the dirt. "There's a strange creature," Alexander said. "It doesn't belong in this yard. I must scare it away." See the chicken? Alexander's eyes grew black, and he flattened down his ears. But the fat hen didn't scare. See Alexander trying to be scary? Alexander arched his back and jumped sideways. Still, the fat hen didn't scare. Instead, she pecked Alexander on the top of his head. "Meow!" wailed Alexander. "Look at that, she got him. That hen pecked me on the top of my nice little head. What a wicked creature she is." A little farther on, Alexander came to a white goose. That's a goose. What sound does a goose make? Does it go honk, honk, honk? Yes. He came to a white goose. The white goose was waddling about on the green grass. "What a silly creature that is," said Alexander. "It doesn't belong in this yard. I must scare it away." Alexander's eyes grew black. He started to flatten down his ears, but he got no farther. The white goose grabbed Alexander's tail and held on. Oh my gosh, look, she's got Alexander's tail. Alexander's legs moved fast as he tried to get free. At last, the white goose opened his bill, and away skittered Alexander. He was scared, wasn't he? Let me see if I can get this next page. Oh, look, the baby kitty got hurt. "Meow!" wailed Alexander. "He hurt my good little tail. What a wicked creature he is." Alexander sat down in the shade to tend his wounds. His peaceful pink nose hurt. The top of his nice little head hurt. His good little tail hurt. In fact, he hurt all over. After he felt rested, Alexander started along the path. Again, he didn't get far before he found his way blocked by a big yellow cat. See the big yellow cat? "That is a strange creature," said Alexander. "It is my kind of creature. Just the same, I don't like him. He doesn't belong in this yard. I must scare him away." Alexander's eyes grew black, and he flattened down his ears. But the yellow cat didn't scare. Alexander was about to arch his back when the yellow cat hit at him and sent him rolling along the ground. Then the yellow cat sprang at Alexander and held him down until he stopped squirming. At last, the yellow cat let Alexander go as he said, "Get up, you foolish kitten. I am your very own great-grandfather. What do you think you are doing?" "My duties," said Alexander. "And what is your duty?" asked the yellow cat. "To scare strange creatures away, and if that doesn't work, to hurt them before they have a chance to hurt me." Did you ever try not scaring them and not hurting them? Well, no. See, there's Alexander talking to his great-grandfather. This is a bit of a long book, isn't it, Corinne? "Try it and see what happens," said Alexander's great-grandfather. "Now get along and be a good little kitten." Alexander started back along the path. There was the white goose. He hardly noticed Alexander as he went by. Then Alexander saw the buzzy bee. Alexander didn't flatten down his ears nor arch his back. He just walked by. And look, they're not being mean to him at all. "I didn't bother him, and he didn't bother me," said Alexander. At last, Alexander saw the fat hen. That's a chicken. She was still clucking and scratching. In fact, she scratched so hard a feather flew out onto the ground. Alexander couldn't resist such a wonderful plaything. He pounced on it. He held it in his front paws. He chewed at it with his tiny teeth. See, there he is playing with the feather from the hen, which is a chicken. The fat hen watched Alexander for a while. Then she chuckled. "That's better. When you're a nice little kitten like this, you may have all the feathers you want to play with." Alexander grabbed the feather in his little mouth and skittered off to the big house. It was lunchtime, and he was hungry. And that's the story of Alexander the Kitten. And I read that when I was a little girl. And someday, if you want this book, you can have it, because I love you. Bye-bye. I love you. Mwah!